Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling one of the most frustrating, massive divides in the tech world. We're looking straight at the gap between service-based and product-based IT companies, and more importantly, exactly how you can cross it. Listen, if you've ever felt like your skills are growing but your paycheck really isn't, or if you're just feeling totally stalled out maintaining legacy code bases while watching your peers land these massive compensation packages, well, this explainer is built specifically for you.
So you gotta ask, why does so many developers stay underpaid? Every single year, thousands of engineers get permanently stuck in that 4 to 6 lakhs per annum salary bracket. They know how to code, they show up every day, but their growth just completely halts. And the reality is, so many of us get trapped in the daily grind. You know the drill. You log in, you fix a minor bug in some massive legacy code base, you push the code, and you collect a paycheck that barely beats inflation. You just stop taking risks. Instead of building new things, you fall back into comfortable routines. But the market only pays average salaries for average, comfortable skills.
And the penalty for staying in that comfort zone? It's absolutely staggering. According to the 2026 India Tech Salary Report, the pay gap between a developer at an IT services company and one at a top-tier product company or a FANG is 3 to 5 times higher. For the exact same level of experience, we aren't talking about a standard 10% annual hike here. Actually, scratch that. We are talking about a totally different financial reality. Okay. Let's dive into this. We're going to break this roadmap down into 5 steps: the reality check, the critical mindset shift, high-value skill upgrades, building verifiable proof, and finally, the execution strategy. Starting right off with step 1, the reality check. The sheer scale of the divide here is massive, specifically when you look at the senior level. A senior engineer with, say, 5 to 10 years of experience at a traditional IT services company tops out at around 12 to 18 lakhs. Meanwhile, a mid-level engineer, someone with just 2 to 5 years of experience, at a B2B SaaS company or a FANG, is easily doubling or tripling that exact number.
So the crucial point is that shifting your career trajectory requires changing your company tier. No amount of skills, certifications, or years of experience in IT services will close this gap if you don't actually make a company switch. Waiting around for a standard annual hike at a service company is mathematically never going to get you to a 30 lakh package. You literally have to change the type of business you work for.
Which brings us to part 2, the critical mindset shift.
The absolute biggest trap for self-taught developers or really anyone trying to upskill after hours is what we call tutorial hell. You know the feeling. You binge a 10-hour React playlist on 1.5x speed while eating snacks, and your brain totally tricks you into thinking you've just become a senior engineer. But you're just passively watching. When you watch someone else write code, your brain merely simulates understanding. It completely bypasses the painful but necessary cognitive process required to actually solve problems on your own.
I really love this quote from Pathby because it's just incredibly relatable for anyone who's learned to code. The exact second you close that video player, open a blank code editor, your mind goes completely blank. That screen just stares back at you, right? And the anxiety locks you down. This is the illusion of competence. To transition to a product company, you have to transform from being a professional spectator into an active, independent builder.
To break this loop, you need a totally new execution model. Enter the strict 20-40 split rule. For every 20 minutes you spend consuming a tutorial, force yourself to spend 40 minutes actively applying it. And hey, don't try to build a massive SaaS platform on day one. Build what we call micro sandboxes. These are tiny, isolated scripts that solve one single issue. You don't need databases, you don't need complex routing. Just one HTML file and one JavaScript file to prove you understand a single concept. Did you just learn arrays? Cool. Write a 6-line script that sorts your favorite movies. Doing that removes the fear of failure and builds real, tangible architectural muscle memory.
Let's move on and see how this builds into section 3, high-value skill upgrades.
The 2026 market is ruthless. Basic HTML, plain CSS, and standard React just aren't enough anymore. Product companies pay for premium performance. If you're a front-end developer, you absolutely must ditch the legacy code. You need to be fluent in React 19 and its new compiler optimizations. You need to understand Next.js 15 and TurboPack for rapid bundling. You've got to grasp full-stack convergence concepts like PPR, partial pre-rendering, which elegantly mixes dynamic and static content. And crucially, you must understand system design. Things like optimizing core web vitals such as largest contentful paint, meaning exactly how fast the main content actually appears for the user. Why? Because that speed directly drives business revenue.
Now, perhaps the most vital skill upgrade of all is becoming an AI-fluent developer. Listen, AI is not replacing senior engineers, but engineers who use AI, they are absolutely replacing those who don't. Junior roles have evolved. You're now expected to be an orchestrator of tools like Cursor or GitHub Copilot. You use them to rapidly scaffold boilerplate code so you can focus 100% of your human energy on complex, high-stakes business logic and security.
And to put that into perspective, the market is putting its money where its mouth is. Machine learning engineers with production-level large language model skills, like fine-tuning in a RAG deployments, which basically means connecting an AI to a company's private custom data, they are earning a massive 12 to 15 lakh premium over equivalent engineers without those skills. Mastering these modern tools is just non-negotiable for top-tier compensation.
All right, let's jump to Section 4, Building Verifiable Proof. Get this. 78% of tech recruiters check GitHub profiles before they even consider scheduling an interview. In the product company world, your resume tells them who you say you are, but your GitHub shows them who you actually are.
Because GitHub isn't just a storage drive for your code. It's a transparent, time-stamped record of how you think, how you build, and how you solve problems. A green contribution graph showing consistent daily effort, combined with repositories that have really highly detailed readmes. That signals your commitment, your discipline, and your collaboration skills way better than any bullet point on a PDF ever could.
And this brilliantly illustrates how you have to present yourself. When you do write your resume, you have to quantify your impact to beat the algorithms. A service-level resume just says improved website speed. But a product-level resume, it says reduced page load time by 43% using lazy loading, improving LCP from 3.5 seconds to 1.7 seconds. You've got to speak the language of business impact and precise metrics.
Finally, we reach Section 5, the execution strategy.
Escaping the service trap takes a disciplined, phased approach, spanning about a year. Months 0 to 3 are for building an unshakable core foundation in languages like Java or C++ and your standard computer science fundamentals. Months 3 to 8 require grueling data structures and algorithms mastery, really focusing on quality over quantity. Overlapping this, from months 6 to 10, you must specialize and build deep, impactful portfolio projects. And let's be incredibly clear here. Overlapping DSA with building complex projects is going to be brutally difficult. It requires sacrificing weekends and evenings for sure. Finally, months 10 to 12 are dedicated entirely to interview prep and system design mockups.
The golden rule of this whole execution phase is specialization. Generalists who know a little bit of everything rarely secure the big offers. Specialists, the ones who go incredibly deep into back-end AI or full-stack convergence, are the ones who do. Why? Because product companies operate at massive scale. They have complex, hyper-specific problems that generalists simply cannot solve efficiently. So, when you start your job search, leverage your LinkedIn referrals instead of just cold applying and showcase that deep, specialized expertise.
So, we've covered the reality of the pay gap, the mindset needed to overcome tutorial hell, the modern skills you need right now, and exactly how to prove you have them. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. As soon as this explainer ends, you have a choice. Are you going to passively click on another video tutorial and stay in your comfort zone? Or are you going to open a blank code editor, write a script, and actually start building your escape route? The roadmap is right here. The execution is entirely up to you.